I don't mean to sound like Peter Griffin, but do you know what grinds my gears? Going to movie theaters and seeing these quote-unquote specialty popcorn buckets marked up at huge prices. The prices can range from $30 to $40 USD depending on the bucket. And now there was a time when only a select number of movies got these specialized popcorn buckets. I mean, at most what would happen is it would just be like a wraparound for like Rogue One. Excuse me. For like Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I remember going to AMC. The last time I went to a movie theater was 2019. And I got one of these quote-unquote popcorn buckets for Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. And all it was just a regular popcorn bucket with a wraparound that said Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. It wasn't like these popcorn buckets that are coming out now. But getting back to it, only a select number of movies got these specialized popcorn buckets, and as a result, they were more special. They used to only be available for opening weekend, and after that, once they ran out, they ran out. Now, it seems like every major movie is getting these popcorn buckets. Robert Eggers' Nosferatu is getting a popcorn bucket shaped like a sarcophagus. Gladiator II had a popcorn bucket designed like a Colosseum. Deadpool and Wolverine had a popcorn bucket as well. In the words of Syndrome from the movie Incredibles, if everybody is special, then no one will be. That's the issue that is going to start plaguing these popcorn buckets. And this reminds me of three separate things, but are all interconnected. I remember a time when if a movie was big enough, like the big summer blockbuster, like you could get like a cup with a wraparound of the movie. And the example that I use is when I went to go see X-Men Apocalypse opening weekend. This was back in 2016. If you got the large soda, depending on what movie theater you went to, not every movie theater had these, but if you got like a large Coca-Cola or a large Dr. Pepper, whatever, you got the large cup, but the cup itself was like a lenticular wraparound that had like the X-Men Apocalypse logo with the release date. And X-Men Apocalypse is not the only movie that did that. I remember Carl's Jr. of all places did a collectible cup for the movie I believe it was It Chapter 2. Yes, it was It Chapter 2 because it came out in 2019. But still, those like movie theater cups were only reserved for like the biggest of the big movies. But then it felt like every single major release got one of those cups. So as a result, these cups are a lot less special. And if you want a prime example, go into any Goodwill or Salvation Army or any thrift store in general and just walk down the aisle where all the cups are. You will see the aisles just littered with like X-Men Apocalypse cups, with It Chapter 2 cups, with Avengers cups, with Guardians of the Galaxy cups, so on and so forth. Basically, name any major movie that came out like after 2010. I guarantee you that there was like a movie theater like large soda cup that tied in with the movie. And they are just littering these fucking thrift stores and flea markets, and no one can get rid of these damn things to save their damn lives. To save their damn lives. The second thing that this reminds me of is the Funko Pops. Now I do want to say this: when Funko Pops first came out and they were far more limited, they were more special because they didn't have every single license under the fucking sun. And then what happened? In 2015 at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe that was when the Conan O'Brien Funko Pop came out, and like anyone who attended San Diego Comic-Con could get the Conan O'Brien Funko Pop, and then all of a sudden, everyone and their mother was getting these Funko Pops of themselves. So that's why a lot of toy collectors will tell you that any Funko Pops made from 2015 onward aren't worth jack fucking shit. Again, there was a time you would go to conventions and there would be dedicated Funko Pop vendors. Now the Funko Pops are still there, but they're much fewer than they used to be. It's actually much more rare nowadays to go to any convention and see a dedicated Funko Pop vendor. They have the Funko Pops. It's along like this little shelf over here, but then they have a whole bunch of like other toys and comics and other stuff because the money in just selling Funko Pops just isn't there anymore. Again, any Funko Pop made like after 2015, like 2015 and after, isn't worth jack fucking shit. But if you have the 2010 Batman, the first Batman Funko Pop that released in 2010, that is worth some money because that was the very first Batman Funko Pop. But Funko Pops back from like 2010 to 2015 were a lot more exclusive. Not every single retailer carried them. And like I said, they did not have every single movie, TV, video game, wrestling. They didn't have every single license under the fucking sun. So it actually was a treat whenever they would make a Batman line or a WWE line or a Star Trek line. But now, because they're so overly mass produced and everyone gets them, they're no longer special. Hence why a lot of Funko Pop collectors have now resorted to getting these signatures on the Funko Pops themselves, because even they realize, like, okay, you know what, this Funko Pop by itself is not going to be worth any money, but if I can get the actor or the person behind it to like sign it, like say, it would not surprise me if there was a Stan Lee Funko Pop, but I'm just going to use Stan Lee as an example because there might be one of him. So they have a Stan Lee Funko Pop that they got Stan Lee to sign. Theoretically, the signature will boost the value, but on the flip side, there are actually many cases where the signature can actually hurt the value of the collectible, which is the irony. But still, you know, go into any thrift store nowadays, you will find them littered with Funko Pops that they have jacked up to obscene prices for like $10 per Funko Pop that they can't seem to get rid of to save their damn life, like the movie theater cups. And the last example that I want to bring up are steelbooks, the Blu-ray steelbooks. Now, it's not just Blu-rays that got steelbooks. It was also 4Ks, and there were even some DVD steelbooks at one point. But this was very, very early on. But there was a time when not every single movie under the sun would get a steelbook. It actually was a lot more special when a steelbook would come out, and I did used to seek them out at one point in time because, like I said, back in like 2014, steelbooks were not everywhere. Not every major movie had them. So the ones that I sprung for were Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, which the movie itself was not very good, but I really liked the look of the steelbook. And the only other one that I sprung for was when The Hateful Eight released to Blu-ray. I paid the extra $5 to get the steelbook because the steelbook for The Hateful Eight was the original teaser poster where it was the stagecoach with the trail of blood following behind it. That's why I wanted it because I loved the original poster for The Hateful Eight, and then it was changed to something more generic that the theaters would show. But at least that original poster art was saved on the steelbook. That's why I sprung for it. But now it feels like every single major movie, no matter what it is getting these steelbook releases, and they're being marked up to such obscene levels because collectors keep jizzing their fucking pants over it. I hate to break this to you, but your steelbooks aren't going to be worth jack fucking shit later. Again, just like the Funko Pops that were made between 2010 and 2014 when they were a lot more special, those will hold their value because there's only so many 2010 Batman Funko Pops in existence. They're not going back and making any more of them. You know, just like with these steelbooks, if you have those those first run steelbooks when not every major movie had them, those will retain their value because this is the original steelbook for the Blu-ray release of the Avengers. I don't know if the Avengers ever had a steelbook back in 2012. I'm just using it as an example. But let's play a fun game, and let's just say that theoretically there was a steelbook for Marvel's Avengers that released when the Blu-ray came out in 2012. that would probably hold its value because it's the Avengers. Now, maybe they re-released the Blu-ray down the line and they gave it a brand new steelbook when the 4K released, but that's the 4K steelbook, and it's different from the 2012 one. That 2012 Blu-ray steelbook will hold its value, like I said, because not every single major movie got a steelbook release. But nowadays, every major movie under the fucking sun has a steelbook, and they're either a Best Buy exclusive or a Target exclusive or a Walmart or a Walmart exclusive. For a while, it actually was Best Buy. If you wanted the steelbook release, you had to go to Best Buy to get them. You know, I had to go to Best Buy to get the steelbook for Sin City: A Dame to Kill For and the steelbook release for The Hateful Eight. But now I believe Target had the exclusivity to some of them for a while, and now Walmart has exclusivity to them for a while. Again, because it's every single major release, and they're not doing anything special with the steelbooks anymore. It's basically, it's a steelbook with just like the regular poster art now. And that's it. They don't do anything special. It's not like The Hateful Eight where they printed the first poster where it's the stagecoach with the trail of blood behind it. That was really cool. The Sin City: A Dame to Kill For poster actually looked like a page right out of a comic book. These steelbooks nowadays are just like, oh yeah, we'll just throw a couple characters on it, and that's about it. Like they did that with Deadpool and Wolverine. There's nothing special about the steelbook release of Deadpool and Wolverine by comparison to the steelbook release of The Hateful Eight, because why would they put all the effort in actually designing an exclusive steelbook if all these collectors are going to go nuts for them and buy them as quote-unquote investments for the future? Hate to break it to you, but 99% of your steelbooks are going to be fucking worthless in just a few years down the line. And I am going to make that bold prediction. We saw it with Funko Pops. Like I said, anything made after 2015 is worth literal fucking pennies. They're now flooding fucking landfills. And I know I've dragged this video out longer than I needed to, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end off this video with this. What is going to happen to these quote-unquote specialty popcorn buckets is just like the Funko Pops, movie theaters, and steelbooks, is they are going to crowd the shelves of Goodwill, Salvation Armies, flea markets, other thrift stores, and yard sales, and no one will be able to get rid of these damn things to save their lives. People only need so many popcorn buckets before it starts to get old. Go into any thrift store and look at all the movie cups that are lining the shelves. Like I said, It Chapter 2, X-Men Apocalypse, Sonic the Hedgehog, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3, etc., etc. Those will probably be there for years and years and years. Same with those popcorn buckets, because 99% of these quote-unquote collectible popcorn buckets won't be worth a damn thing. The only ones that will retain any value are going to be the ones that are tied to the most culturally relevant movies, which are very few and far between, if we're being honest. And don't take this the wrong way. I'm not telling you not to buy one of these popcorn buckets. If you genuinely want to buy the Nosferatu popcorn bucket or the Gladiator II popcorn bucket, go ahead. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. But don't think that you're buying something as an investment for the future, because just like Funko Pops and Steelbooks and comic books of the 1990s, and same with baseball cards, most of those aren't even worth the materials that it costs to make them.